Hey y'all, welcome back. This is Jasmine Jones. I'm a licensed clinical social worker, and this is Black Girl, a therapist in the wild. So, first and foremost, I saw that I had 10 subscribers. That's kind of cool. You know, it's cool that somebody's watching these and enjoying them and they actually subscribe. So, hello world, YouTube land, 10 subscribers. That's awesome. So today, well, I took a week off because I had a lot of clients last week and it was just overwhelming and I needed my Sunday. So Sunday, usually I film my YouTube videos and then I post them on Monday because it takes all night Sunday to upload them. I mean to export them, and then it takes like half the morning on Monday to upload them to YouTube. So last Sunday I took off because I was just tired. I needed to rest. I've realized that, you know, I have a lot on my plate. Actually, I do my private practice. I work at a mental health agency, and then I do online therapy on a platform. I'm not going to say the name because, you know, pay me before I say your name. I'm not going to give you free publicity, you know, publicity. There you go. I was putting the L in the wrong place. So, you know, I do on therapy on an online platform. It's kind of well known. So if y'all want to, you know, support me with my 10 subscribers, that would be awesome. So yeah, I took a week off and it was great. I realized the influx of clients, like what they were talking about was the upcoming holiday and how stressful it is for them. And I recognize that, you know, the holidays coming up and it's stressful for a lot of us. You know, we're going to be around family members, family dramas, weird uncles, weird cousins, and things like that. And a lot of us have to brace ourselves for it just to experience a family get together. So I figured since the holidays coming up, why not do a video just tackling how to handle mental health during the holiday, how to self-care, how to set up strong boundaries. Well, we already did boundaries, but now it's like the holiday family edition of boundaries. I feel like this channel is about making boundaries and loving yourself, which is not bad at all. I don't think it's bad. So stay tuned and we will get into self-care, setting up boundaries, and preparing for the holidays. So what are some stressors during the holiday? Well, you know, we have the old folks with the different opinions that can range from racist to homophobic to, you know, sexist, all sorts of things. We can sometimes have, you know, people in our family that have caused us trauma that will still show up to family events because nobody reported this thing that they did to us, whatever it is, whatever kind of trauma you might have experienced, nobody reported it, and you just still have to see that person every time you go to an event and act like nothing's wrong and pretend like you're not having anxiety and you're not triggered and things like that. Just petty arguments with our family members, with our, that's poof in the background, with our family members, you know, things that, you know, expectations that our families might have for us. You know, where's your kid? Did you have your kid yet? Where's your husband? Where's, you know, your successful job and things like questions that are just kind of like, why are you asking me those questions? It's none of your business. Leave me alone. I just came to eat turkey and ham and stuffing and mashed potatoes and macaroni and cheese. As you can see, I'm hungry and I want to be left alone. So, you know, those are a lot of things that's hard to deal with. And you know you're going to experience it every single year. People that you haven't seen in a year coming around. People that you see, you know, every day or every week because they're your closer family members. So you have to deal with this all the time. But it's double on the holidays because now they have their army of minions to back them up. Your mom has all the aunties and uncles around her now to repeat all the things that she's been telling you for the whole year. And it's like doubled. And so you have to, you feel like you have to engage and be involved in these family events. even though they're very triggering, they're very hurtful, and they're very stressful to you, especially if you have mental health issues on top of it. Like, so you have depression, you have anxiety, you're bipolar, you're schizophrenic, you have, a diagnosis, or you're not diagnosed, but you feel obvious symptoms of something going on mental health wise, inability to cope with certain triggers, lowered mood for a long period of time, mental exhaustion, emotional exhaustion, physical exhaustion, and you might even just have physical illnesses on top of that, just having to deal with all of this stress. Stress can lead to physical illness. So it's difficult, especially having a mental health issue and things like that. And being around these people, it's like, why are people so nosy? Why do they pry so much into our lives? And, I've come to the conclusion that, people have expectations on us based off their own insecurities. That's what I feel like. I feel like because you didn't experience whatever it was that you wanted to experience when you were a kid, now you're putting it on me and saying that I have to do it. I have to live your dream. So you want to live vicariously through me. That's my cat. I don't want to lock her while I'm filming. I don't want to put her in the bathroom or put her in the bedroom. I feel like she'll get scared. I don't know. So you're just going to hear the sound in the background. You can still hear me. My voice is loud enough. So, it's just, I feel like people want to kind of, put their issues on us. And then that's how they create little versions of themselves, little mini-me's of anxiety and frustrations, So when you try to force somebody to do the things that you wish you could have did when you were their age, then it just makes them anxious and depressed and sad most of the time, and it makes them want to get away from you. So remember that. If any older people are people with children, or people that have influence over other people, in any way, like if you're a teacher or something, just remember that, when you don't accept people for who they are and where they're at, you're just creating a little version of yourself. As anxious and overwhelmed and depressed as you are, that's what you're doing to that person. So recognize that you're not instilling them with, pride in themselves and, motivation for success. You're instilling them with mental health issues. You're just passing it down. And it's okay to encourage folks to be successful and encourage folks to be amazing people and whatever. But if this kid wants to do art, this kid loves drawing and painting and sculpting, but you're trying to force this kid to play football. Why are you trying to force this kid to play football? This kid doesn't want to play football. Just because you played football in high school and almost got a scholarship until you busted your knee, now you want this kid to relive that so that you can watch from the sidelines and be like, oh, well, I did something right. Do something right in your own life. Find a new dream. Get yourself out of that box of whatever you felt limited you, whether it was a sport you played in high school, a career path you wanted to go down, the person that you wanted to marry and you didn't end up marrying, whatever it was, let it go. Because younger people, especially cat hair, are tired of going to these family events and hearing and being pressured to be little cookie cutter versions of you and your issues. And this goes for anybody. If you're 15 and you have a cousin that's 11 and you're calling your cousin stupid because he likes to read and he has good grades, and you're mad because you're still in the 8th grade because you failed all your classes and stuff and you're 15, that's not your little cousin's fault that you failed. That's your issue that you need to figure out why you failed and ask for help and work harder on it. All the way to the 60-year-old grandmother that, had, an abusive husband and all this other stuff, and she wants to see her grandchildren, have happy marriages. And it's like, okay, well, some people don't want to get married. So that's nice that you are encouraging them to get married and have a happy life, but some people don't want to get married. So you got to let it go. For some of those kids, you gotta let it go and be happy for the person that they are, because they love you for who you are because they put up with you. So those are just some of the things and emotions and thoughts and feelings that rumble through folks that have to deal with toxic people during the holiday, you know. Okay, so now let's get into how to prepare for it beforehand, deal with it during, and decompress afterwards. And decompress doesn't just mean going shopping for Black Friday. Okay. I mean, that's a good decompression, but we don't just have to do that. Okay, so how do we prepare for it beforehand? So a lot of people are doing what's called a Friendsgiving lately. And I really like those because it gives you a chance. Well, it started off as, I think this is how it started off because it got popular like a few years ago. So basically, I think it started off with people that didn't have families to go to for Thanksgiving, so they would have Thanksgivings with their friends, you know. But I know people that have gone to Friendsgivings just to go, you know, and enjoy time with their friends. And I see it as a big decompression before the actual day, you know, because it's still, you know, because friends can bring the drama, but not necessarily as much as your family can. So it's kind of like you get to have a little fun, get a little bit looser than you can with your family, you know, have some drinks, even vent about your family. I mean, you can do that at the family event too, with your cousins and the people that are around your age, and even some people that are older that you feel cool with. But with your friends, it's a little bit different. You know, they don't have necessarily any emotional investment into these family members. So because sometimes you can say the wrong thing about an auntie to one of your cousins, and you were joking and laughing about her a second ago, and the next thing you know, your cousin's like, what you say? You know, so with your friends, they don't know who your aunt is, so you can just go all out. Get it all out as much as you can with your friends. Have a good time. You know, whether you have a family to go to for Thanksgiving or not, you know. And if you don't and you just have the Friendsgiving, you know, then just enjoy your time, and then you can use some of the tips that I'll speak about during the Thanksgiving event in your Friendsgiving if you feel like you need to. But if you got friends that are kind of like that you have to use those boundaries with, maybe you want to rethink some of the friendships, because you can't necessarily rethink your family unless they do something really heinous and you just got to walk away. But a lot of times the petty stuff that you put up with your family, you're not necessarily going to put up with a friend, you know, because it's like, I get this at home. I told you to stop, so you didn't stop. So yeah, I have to go. So have a Friendsgiving if you can. Now, a day or so before, I would say the day before Thanksgiving, you know, most people work. But when you get off work, do as many relaxing things as possible. Go get one of those $40 hour massages. Take a nice warm bath. Do some meditation. So you're really decompressing and getting into yourself and tuning into who you are as a person. You know, you're prepping for this. You're getting loose. You're getting ready. You're getting ready to go, so that when it happens, you're not all just stiff and like, oh, I'm about to walk into this house with these people that I don't necessarily want to see all of them, but I have to because it's family. So, you know, decompress as much as possible. And also, hello. And also recognize that if your family's really toxic to the point where it's affecting your mental health and your mental stability and your physical health to, you know, a detrimental point, you don't have to go. Really think about it. Sit down, because I know folks that just don't want to go, you know, and it could be something as simple as some people died in their family, and so being around the family's triggering, to that my uncle molested me and I don't want to be around the family. You know, it just kind of depends on you. So if you feel like you don't want to go, don't go. You know, so that's a prep too. Really sitting with yourself during those meditative moments. And I'll put up below I will put up post some meditations that I like to watch on YouTube to help me sleep, little 15-minute ones to kind of help me decompress for the moment, like when I'm at work or something, or like really long ones that are like 8 hours long that like make me fall asleep. It just kind of depends on like what time of the day it is and what my mood is. And during those moments of meditation, really asking yourself, would it be healthy for me to go to this event? Even though it's my family, even though there are some people there that I'm close to and I love, will it rock my world, in a negative way? Will it rock my world mentally, physically, emotionally? How long will it take me to recover from this? Do I want to do that much recovery? You have to figure it out for yourself. So that's a part of prepping too. So prepping, Friendsgiving, day before, we do like a total of spa night. If you take the day off of work before Thanksgiving, I know some people at my job took off the whole week. Then just have a total spa day as much as you can. I mean, you don't have to go and buy anything. Just, be home, do your skincare, do your little in-home pedicure, in-home manicure, pamper yourself for the day, meditate, and then see how you feel by the end of the day. If you have to work the day before Thanksgiving, do it when you get home. Just pamper yourself when you get home, relax, take a nice warm bath, meditate, do all of that stuff. See how you feel. If you can even get in a massage after work, they have those little places that like it's $40 for an hour. So that's why I'm mentioning massages, because I know we all can't afford to go to spas and do the things that we really want to do. So we have to figure out a way to do them at home. But there are places that will give you at least a massage for a decent price. So schedule something like that, or schedule to get your nails done after work. Anything that's pampering for you. So that way you have a really open mind to figure out, do I want to go to this thing? So yeah, that's my prep for before the actual day. It's like you got to prepare for the day like it's your wedding day or something, but you kind of do, because your mental health, even if you do decide to go and that it's going to be a drag on your mind and things like that, it's still difficult. It's still difficult. Like, I'm used to this. I go every year. There's nothing really traumatic. It's difficult to deal with all of the different personalities in the room, So yeah, that's my prep for before the day of Thanksgiving. Okay, so now for the day of. So this is when you've decided whether to go or not. And if you've decided to not go, that is perfectly fine. Don't let nobody guilt you into feeling like you have to go somewhere that you don't want to go. No matter if it's your family, even your friends, because your friends will guilt you too into it. Like, you call them for advice about whether or not you should go, and they're like, you should go because that's your family. No. If you don't want to go, it's fine. You have to think of it this way. What's the worst thing that will happen if your family is upset with you, or like it's most likely going to be like your parents or something that's upset with you, or grandma, maybe some aunties or something. They'll still talk to you eventually. They're not going to abandon you. Most likely they're not going to just disappear on you just because you didn't show up for Thanksgiving. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. They might be upset. They might gripe and complain about it for a little bit. But if you don't want to go, you don't have to go. So that's my first thing for the day of. If you decide not to go, it's a-okay. You need to be okay with that. If you decide to go, try to dress cute, comfortable. I always like to say that because, some cute jeans and a long sweater. I always like my long sweaters and stuff. Anything that's like, you can still be cute yet comfortable. And the reason I say comfortable is because I notice for myself, when I start to get stressed out and I'm wearing things that are too tight, that not necessarily too tight, but they fit you in a delicate way that's kind of uncomfortable. If you like move around too much or whatever, or sweat too much, I get hot when I start to get upset. I start to get really hot. And if I'm wearing something uncomfortable, that just doubles down on me being uncomfortable, because now I feel every little piece of fabric that's sticking into my skin. And so I'm just like, okay, so now not only am I pissed off and trying to keep it together, but I'm physically uncomfortable on my skin, because your stomach might hurt and stuff when you get upset and whatever too. So that's something to add to the physical uncomfortableness, but we're talking clothes right now. So now your skin is uncomfortable. So I would say dress as comfortable, yet, because people will still want to be attractive and cute on Thanksgiving. I would add comfortable to it. Find something that's comfortable and cute. Not necessarily, I don't want to be like, unless you're really good at wearing heels. I have bad ankles and knees and stuff, so I don't necessarily like wearing heels. But imagine if, like, let's say you need to leave a room really fast and you wore these heels to sit in the living room and look cute. You didn't wear these heels to speed walk out of the living room into the car because, it's getting too overwhelming for you. So you try to speed walk out the living room into the car and boop, 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 you fell. So it's like you wore the 6-inch stilettos to look cute sitting in the living room with your legs crossed and the plate on your lap. And then you had to get up and walk out because you was done and you fell. So you had to think ahead like that, because I had to learn my lesson a long time ago. Like, I have a car jacket. I have a house jacket, a jacket to take out the house if it's cold coming out the house, and I have a jacket in the car in case it gets cold later in the day. I live in Los Angeles, or I don't live in Los Angeles. I live in Southern California in the South Bay. There's a difference. Anyways, but the weather changes and fluctuates. So I have learned to be prepared. So I would say dress as comfortable yet attractive to your style as possible. Be prepared to set boundaries. So you do not have to partake in any negative conversations. You can let people know, like, hey, let's not talk about that right now. Let's talk about something else. Hey, what did cousin Melissa do the other day? I heard that she just finished college or something. Change the subject. You can change the subject. If you told the person that let's not talk about that right now, and they're still talking about it, you can just get up and walk away. Okay, well, I'm just going to go over here and talk to Auntie, I don't know, what's an auntie name? I don't know. I'm going blank. Auntie Nikki. I'm gonna go over here and talk to Auntie Nikki because I asked you to stop and you didn't. And it doesn't matter who it is. I like to change the subject with the family just because it avoids the conversation of, well, it helps to avoid, if somebody thinks you're rude, they're just going to think you're rude. But it helps to avoid the conversation of you being rude. And, you just want to avoid as many arguments as possible. Uncle's going into the whole homophobia spiel, and you're like, oh no, you know what? I just got promoted at work. Just change the subject. You can't, if you feel okay with addressing these topics, you can address them if you feel like you are up for the debate. But just understand that certain people, if they are ignorant in a certain way and they believe in what they believe in, you're never going to change their mind. I learned that a long time ago. You're just having a pointless argument, and it starts to become you wasting energy and throwing out energy, and they're not picking it up and giving it back to you. They're just they're doubling down, they're tripling down on what they believe in. So recognizing who you're talking to when you pick up the debate ball. If you pick it up and you try to pass it back, they're not going to catch it. They're just going to stay in that same vein. Like, this is what I believe, and I'm going to try to make you believe what I believe, and then I'm going to try to insult you for believing what you believe. So then, you have to decide, do I want to continue this debate? Or do I want to be like, I'm cool, I'm going to walk away. It's okay if you need to take a break. If you need to step into another room. My favorite thing is I will go into the bathroom or outside, and I'll just play a few games of Candy Crush. get them little candy things and pop them, and it's a big relaxer for me. It's kind of like ASMR. I guess it is ASMR. I don't know, but it is a big relaxer for me to just go into the bathroom or go somewhere and just do a game of Candy Crush or do a meditation. You know, I like the guided meditations because sitting in silence is not my thing, or sitting with just music and focusing on your breath. It's just, I think a lot, so I need someone who's guiding me and telling me what to do on the meditation. So take a break. Let's say you're an introvert and all of the energies and personalities are getting to you. Just walk on out. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. If you have, and this is if you go, because a lot of folks won't go just because of this. If you have a predator in your family, everybody knows a lot of folks have these families where there's the uncle that we don't let the little kids go around, or there's the cousin that, you know, no one lets the kids sit on his lap. And you know that he did something to you, or she did, because there's female and, you know, non-binary. If you know that they did something to you when you were a child, you know, but you still feel obligated to go, please don't feel obligated to go. Really decide if you want to be around that person, you know, and how it affects your mental health. Because I want to warn people about that, because like people will make people feel obligated to go because they just don't want to acknowledge that there's a predator in their family. You don't have to acknowledge that person while you're there. You don't have to be around them. If they make you feel uncomfortable, because I feel like, because, you know, if they come around you and they make you feel uncomfortable, I am of the team of be as loud as possible. Get away from me. Why are you touching me? I am of that team. But if you feel like you don't have the strength, the mental health faculties, or control of your anxiety enough to do something like that, get up and walk away. Get up and walk away. Go to somebody that you can trust in the room and just be around them. You know, even if this person has never put hands on you in any way, has never abused you, but you know that they're creepy, just a creepy vibe about them, you know, you can do those two things. You know, you can either get up and walk away as soon as, don't go with them. Don't let anybody tell you to go with them and hang out and you should do this, you should say hi, you shouldn't be mean to your uncle. No. You don't have to be around them at all. You don't have to acknowledge them as people. You can ignore them completely and walk away. And if they get upset, that's on them. If they want to wild out and act crazy, that's on them, you know. But like I said, most people don't go to events just because those type of people are there. But if you do, well, I won't say that, because you know what, a lot of people just feel like they have to. So, you know, you got the creepy uncle, but a lot of people just feel like they have to. So you have the right to set boundaries around that. Also, drive yourself if you can, if you have a car, or go with somebody that is down for leaving at the drop of a hat. You know, so either drive yourself or go with somebody that's down for leaving at the drop of a hat, or have Uber or Lyft on the ready if you feel comfortable with taking Uber or Lyft, because I know there's a lot of creepy stories around, Uber and Lyft and things like that. So take your own vehicle, go with somebody that's down for leaving whenever, or be ready to pick up the Uber and Lyft. And if you do take Uber or Lyft, let people know where you're going, somebody that you trust in the room, and make sure that, you know, you let them know that you got home safely, please. So that way it's like, if you get overwhelmed, if you are tired and you want to leave, you can just go. You know, if an argument starts up or there's been too many arguments for the night, you can just get up and go. You know, I'm going to leave. You know, I'm going to go. You know, so don't feel like you have to be trapped in a situation and you have to stay there all day and all night, especially for the younger crowd, like the 18, 19, 20, 21s and stuff. A lot of y'all don't have cars and things like that. So be prepared, you know, because you should be able to leave. You should not feel trapped. What else? Is there anything else? Most of it is just putting up boundaries, being able to walk out of the place if you need to, taking breaks to decompress if you need to. And then, taking those walks with that cousin, the cousin that we take a walk with just because, finding like-minded family members in the room that need a break too, and you both go take a walk and you take a break and you come back and you feel more relaxed. If you need to do that, go do that. That's, if that's something that you need to do. So, and be okay with it. Be okay with the fact that you need to leave, that you need to take a break, that you don't want to be around this particular family member, and everybody needs to be okay with it. Be okay with it, because certain people in certain families will shame you for, needing these things. And they'll think there's something wrong with you. Stand your ground. No, I don't want to put up with this person or this event right here. Or no, I just need to go sit down real quick and take a break or something like that. Because it's better to, feel a little tinge from being seen as the odd person out than to have to be continuously tortured by having experiences that you don't want to have. Trust me, you will get over feeling like the odd person out. You will not get over, it will take longer to get over having to deal with a situation that you don't want to deal with. And you might just snap and say something that you didn't want to say, so just recognize that. And then, there's those memes with those witty comebacks. I'm going to let that scroll by. But basically the witty comebacks of, oh, well, you don't have kids yet. And then, the other person is like, oh, well, ain't you on your fifth husband now? If you can put up, if that's how you roll with your family, and you can come back with the witty comebacks and stand toe to toe with them, do what you got to do. So whatever works for you. So the next part is gonna be on how to decompress after all of this before you have to go back to work on Monday. So it's the next day. You wake up, you got like a food hangover, you got like a stress hangover, maybe a drink hangover, maybe a something else hangover, and you just want to decompress. I think that's why they made Black Friday after Thanksgiving, just because they know it's stressful, so they just want to get your coins and stuff. So if shopping is the thing that you want to do, then do it. Do what you need to do for you. This is a chance for another spa day. You had a little mini spa day the day before. You have a spa day after. So whatever you need to do to calm down, go hang out with your friends. Vent, cuss out all the family members that pissed you off yesterday. Whatever you need to do, schedule an appointment with your therapist. It's a good idea. I think I have some clients the Saturday after Thanksgiving, which is very unsurprising to me. A lot of folks need to talk about what went down after the holiday. Vent to the person that you're closest with, your partner, whatever. But get a lot of this stuff off your chest. Just take care of yourself. The weekend, I guess that's all of the weekend then, because it's a 3-day weekend, 4-day weekend. So, from Friday to Sunday, it's your time. You gave that time to your family. And if you choose to still hang out with your family, because I know folks that, they're going out of town and staying the whole weekend. But I would say if you are going out of town, or if you are staying the whole weekend with your family, to get at least a moment to yourself, at least half a day, where you can just sit and decompress after all of that stuff you just went through. Get some time to kind of walk away and do whatever you need to, like I said, hang out with friends. Ooh, I drew a little bit ill. I was talking too much. Hang out with friends, with your cousins, with, a favorite aunt, anybody that you feel the most comfortable with. But just anything that you can do to relax. If you have a problem with shopping, like you don't have the budget for shopping, or you overshop too much, stay away from shopping and just do something. Go to the park and lay out on the ground, or go watch a movie. I think what's coming out next weekend? I think there's a few things coming out next weekend that sound pretty good. Go to the movies, do a small thing for yourself. I like to go to Barnes and Nobles and read the books in there and look at books and stuff. What else? Take yourself out to eat. You have the Thanksgiving food at home, but take yourself out to eat somewhere nice. It could just be you by yourself. That's where I went today. That's why I don't just have my pajamas on today. I try to be relaxed as possible when I do these videos, because it helps with my anxiety when doing them. So that's why a lot of times I'm in my pajamas. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna get up and do this. I'm not going to think about it. I'm just going to do it. And most of the time I'm in my pajamas when I have that thought. So today I actually went out and I went to this restaurant in Beverly Hills called the Stinking Rose. Everything is like sauteed and cooked in garlic. It's amazing. I love it. It's my favorite place. So I just took myself out on a date, sat at the booth, turned my phone on and watched The Mandalorian while I ate my food. So take yourself out, do something fun, because you deserve it. Because a lot of us are forced into these events, these family events. And so we deserve a reward for showing up. I mean it. We deserve a reward for showing up. Whether you helped cook, whether you just came because your family wanted you to be there, whatever, you deserve a reward for showing up to something where you had to expend so much of yourself, where you had to, hide a lot of stuff and a lot of like bad feelings and pretend like you weren't bothered by a lot of things people said. You deserve a reward for that. So do the things that you feel like will be rewarding for you. If you have kids, take your kids out, do something fun with them, because they're tired too. When I was a little kid, even though, the adults thought we were just kids running around, like, seeing my cousins wasn't just like fun. I mean, there was little kid drama between the cousins and stuff. And it was just like, this is a lot. It's a lot for little kids to see their cousins after like a year. And, it's a lot. Kids go through it too. Just recognize that. If you can think back to when you were little and you were seeing your cousins after a year during the holidays, and it's kind of like the Home Alone thing. You got the bully cousin, you got the messy cousin, you got the cousin that's like, might be a little bit behind or delayed and things, and you got to protect that cousin from the bully cousin, and it's like, okay, this is a lot. So even the kids feel it. So I would say take them out to do something fun, because they deserve it too. Everyone that has a holiday experience with their family, with people at all, even a Friendsgiving can be stressful. They deserve a reward for it. So use that 3 days off after Thanksgiving to go do something to reward yourself. Take a half a day, take a whole day, take all 3 days, but give yourself a reward. And that's it. So, as the great Tito not Tito, Tino, that's about to be on Disney Plus, The Weekenders, but I watch it on YouTube. I don't know if it's still on YouTube though. I think I gave away the secret. They're gonna take it off YouTube. But as the great Tino from The Weekenders says, later days.